All right, guys, welcome to the Digital Barbell Podcast. Thanks for being here. If this is your first time finding our podcast, my name is Jonathan. This is my wife, Blakely. We own and operate Digital Barbell. Not only are we a podcast, but we're a coaching company. We've got online clients all over the world, all over the United States that we're helping get in great shape, no matter their age, their previous exercise history. None of that matters. We're going to meet you where you're at, help you get better every day. So if you can check out some free resources of how you can work with us, and even just some free stuff that you can get without working with us, I'll put a link to that in the description below. Today's topic is 5 things we wish we had figured out sooner when it comes to our health and fitness. You'd be surprised how many times people say things to me. I'm usually the one that's interacting with people on Instagram, that when we post an old picture, they're like, wow, I just kind of assumed you guys were always in shape. It's like, no, that's definitely not the case. Like most people, we had to kind of figure this stuff out over time to get to where we're at right now. That's how we help people do that now through our coaching company, but through trial and error and research and education and all that kind of stuff, we made a lot of mistakes that we've now learned is not the way to do it.
Right.
And that's why we want to give you some shortcuts in this episode.
That's right.
All right, you ready to roll right into these?
Let's go. All right. I think the first thing that I wish that we had figured out sooner was the terrific combination of strength training, bodybuilding, and CrossFit style conditioning in most of the workouts that we do. Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, I spent so many years just doing CrossFit. We spent years just doing strength training. You spent some time just doing bodybuilding. And yes, while you can get super strong with the strength training, you're not going to get the overall physique, and you're not going to get the overall health capacity. Same with with CrossFit. I was I felt like I was just in the best shape of my life, but not the physique side and not the strength side.
And maybe
the bodybuilding is you're lacking on the strength side and the capacity side.
There's definitely benefits to doing each kind of training modality, even ones that we didn't mention or aren't one of the 3 that we really incorporate into our training philosophy. There's benefits in all that stuff, but we believe that you don't have to become a specialist in anything to get great results. Right. And the results that most people want for everyday life, for longevity, for maintaining a lean physique, for feeling capable, feeling confident, comes from the blend of those 3 things.
Right. And I was going to say, I said I was in the best shape of my life when I did CrossFit. I would say I was in the best shape to do CrossFit when I was doing CrossFit. Now I really feel now, even though I'm 10 years older than when I was doing that heavily, I feel I'm in better shape today than overall health.
Yeah,
than I did back
and when
then.
let's say back in our 100% strength training days, if we had wanted to go on a hike in Colorado or something, we couldn't have enjoyed it.
No,
we wouldn't have
have the capacity at that time.
Yeah. So that's our opinion, is that you're going to get the best results from combining those 3 modalities. Not only physically, you're going to feel the best. You're going to have the best longevity. And you're going to be able to tackle things outside of just being good at doing your workouts. Right. And this which isn't the point.
Yeah. And this is for a general population person who just is I'm looking to get in shape. I want to be healthy, number 1. I want to look like I work out, and I want to be able to do things in the outside world, hop on a paddleboard, or do play a sport with my children, or hop a fence if I have to. These are the things that I think about when I'm okay, a person wants to be overall fit and capable.
Amen. And before we move on though, somebody might be new to all this kind of stuff. Maybe they've only done group classes or whatever. So let me just give a quick synopsis of what strength training, bodybuilding, and CrossFit style conditioning is. Strength training is where you lift heavy loads for you in the 5-ish rep range area. And these are compound lifts like squats, bench press, deadlifts, and overhead presses. And the point of that rep range is so that when you get to that 5-ish rep range, it's really, really challenging for you. And then to take advantage of strength training, you need to continually increase the weight on the bar, or work in that 5-ish rep range to continually do a couple more reps, and then you add a little bit more weight and repeat that cycle. That's what strength training is. Strength training is not using 10 or 15 pound dumbbells to do squats and deadlifts for 20, 30 reps. That's muscular endurance, that's not how you're going to get the benefits of strength training. And then bodybuilding is doing these accessory type exercises like dumbbell rows and tricep push downs, using some of those machines that you see in the gym, using dumbbells for presses and for bench presses. And the point of these is to build muscular size, because you can do more volume on these things, because you're not frying yourself by doing just heavy all the time. These are done with lighter weights in the 18 to 15 rep range. And you work your entire body with these bodybuilding exercises. These are great for building your tendon and ligament health, because that higher rep stuff helps with that. And this is what builds the physique that you really want. The strength training is the base of your physique, and then doing this bodybuilding is what gives you that muscle tone that everybody wants to see. And then CrossFit style conditioning is pushing yourself outside of your comfort zone, more than just if you were just get on the treadmill and walk at a zone 2 pace for 30, 40 minutes at a time. There's something magic happens when you push the intensity of conditioning in the 4 to 12, sometimes the 20-minute time domain. And we write these kinds of workouts, you write these kinds of workouts in a way that don't destroy you, because we're not doing them every single day. And we're not doing them with these heavy loads. Like, we're not doing 135-pound thrusters per time,
or
that
high
kind of
rep
stuff.
snatches and things like that.
Right. So that's kind of a synopsis of what it all means.
And you don't have to be scared of that word, high intensity. It is based on your abilities, and it is just pushing yourself, whatever your capacity is, a little bit further than you think you can go. Your mind is like, I gotta stop, and you can push for 1 or 2 or 3 more reps, and then you realize I could go a little bit further. And as that happens, it builds upon itself within that workout, and workout after workout, week after week.
Yes.
And there, like he said, there's some magic that happens that we talk about all the time, that even transfers over to your
mental game,
your real life.
Yeah. And just knowing you can do hard things.
Yes.
Awesome.
Okay. The second thing we wish we figured out sooner is, kind of you led into this earlier, is you don't have to be destroyed every workout to get great results.
When you own the CrossFit gym, I would observe classes that I wasn't taking, and it was just so common for people to go around after the class and just be like, how do you feel? And like, I'm destroyed. That WOD was so brutal.
Laying on the ground. Yeah.
Look at my sweat angel on the floor.
But even then, we had kind of transformed, and we had within the CrossFit gym, we had weightlifting Wednesday. Everybody was so excited about that. They were just going to come in and do some weightlifting. And then we had a bodybuilding Thursday day. So even back then, within the capacity of the walls of that gym, we were still mixing in the conditioning, the
digital barbell method was being
strength
born.
training, and the bodybuilding. Yeah.
But it's just so common for people to think a good workout that's moving me towards my goals is one where my heart rate got to 180, where my joints were barking at me. I know I'm going to be super destroyed. I'm going to be worthless for an hour after this workout. It's simply not the truth. Unless you're trying to become a competitive CrossFit athlete, or unless your sport depends on you destroying yourself, because that's what you're going to have to do on game day, the results that you want don't come from doing that kind of intensity every single day. There are days where, assuming we're not working out in the Texas heat, we will work out and not get a giant sweat going, but it was still a fantastic workout.
Yeah.
We got stronger. We did enough volume to make our muscles grow. We got fitter, not just because we destroyed ourselves.
Right.
It's just not necessary. And if you're in your 40s or beyond, it's actually counterproductive to the goals that you have.
Yeah.
You're just putting extra wear and tear on your body and your central nervous system that you don't need.
We have so many clients that come from a strict CrossFit background, and then they come into what we're doing, and they're like, oh my gosh, I feel stronger.
Yeah.
And fitter.
You are stronger.
And
you
fitter.
are fitter.
Yeah. And I'm definitely not bashing on CrossFit.
It's a dosage issue. It's a dosage issue. Because what you said is you don't have to feel destroyed every day to get overall great results. There are times you want to go to that pain cave, but if you're like us and you don't have those goals to be a professional athlete, you don't need to do that every day.
All right. The third thing we wish we figured out sooner is that lasting results come from long-term sustained effort, not short bursts of perfection.
I mean, you could take this and spin it into any area of life. We've been married 23 years now, and I'm pretty sure the reason we've made it this far isn't because I did so good for 30 days, or you loved me so hard for one particular week. It's not about that. It's about the long, what happened over the long term. How more often than not, what did you do? And it's the same thing with saving for retirement. It's not like 1 month I was able to put $10,000 into my my investments. I'm set for like,
true.
no, it's you get rich and you retire because you put $500 a month in forever.
Consistently. Yep.
It's the exact same thing with your fitness.
And it's the same thing with your nutrition.
Yeah, but this goes against the mindset that most people have with fitness. That number one, they have to be perfect with everything, and number two, that like they need to buckle down and just like follow a strict protocol for this time to get a result.
Right.
Forgetting the fact that if you want to maintain that result, which we hope you do, you need to go about it in some sort of manner that might be somewhat sustainable for you to carry on with beyond. And I can tell you that like making a daily deposit in your fitness is far less intimidating than feeling like you have to be perfect for 30 days in a row.
I mean, we coach clients and ourselves like that have been with us even since when I owned the gym. Like we have some clients that have been around since the days that I owned the gym and have now are doing digital barbell. And so we're talking about over a decade of doing this type of structured workout, and I think that that's exactly what we're talking about. They know that like their long-term sustained efforts are what are getting them like they're fitter today than they were a decade ago, and I think that's why both of us can even say that about ourselves is like I feel fitter today than I did a decade ago, and that's because it's just like you're putting these little bitty deposits in like a few times a week that add up.
Perfectly said.
All right. The fourth thing we wish we figured out sooner is nutrition is not optional for results.
I mean, this is sad. Let's just face it. Like
I will say when we first when we first started, like I grew up like doing sports and stuff like that, and nutrition was not even on the mindset. I mean, literally I was like doing competitive soccer and swimming in high school, and my lunch was a roll and a Coke.
You were carbon
or a Twix and a Coke.
A full strength Coke.
I'm serious. I mean, I just had no idea. But that, when you're younger, like it doesn't matter as much. But it does. It does matter. But I will say that, like, my mind just like went blank of what I was going to say.
You were talking about your poor nutrition when you were a non-professional.
I know.
Athlete.
I was going for something, but go ahead.
Well, I mean, eventually we learned over time what proper nutrition started to look like.
Yeah, we used to like give ourselves. When we first started like working out together as a couple, I would say there was like that mindset of like we did this, we get a reward. It's like, oh, we did this like workout, let's go get a piece of cake. Yeah,
or burger and fries. And
that was kind of like the the idea of like, oh, I worked hard, I deserve this reward, and it was often a food reward. Yeah,
that's a whole different topic for another podcast. That's a kind of an unhealthy way to approach nutrition.
Yeah, my point was like we really knew we were working out, but we knew nothing about nutrition.
I mean, 99% of people who go to the gym are not getting results, period. But a huge part of the reason they're not getting results is because they're just ignoring what's going on with their nutrition. And it really is the hardest part. You only have to go to the gym once a day or 3 times a week, but you got to make dozens and dozens, if not hundreds, of food decisions every day. Like when you go check out at Home Goods or Best Buy or whatever, like
which is crazy.
You're surrounded by tempting options. Your environment is set up for you to not succeed with nutrition, but it's just not an optional thing. If you're trying to lose fat, get in shape, have longevity, have health, have healthy markers for your health that make your doctor happy, it comes down to 2 things, and one of those things is your nutrition. It wasn't until we figured that out and we learned what sustainable nutrition looked like for us that we transformed our physical results, and then also sorry, I got distracted. There's like somebody revving a boat outside. We changed our results, and and we'll never look back. And it's the reason that we offer nutrition coaching as a service to our clients now. Yeah,
and without going into all the details of like what we're talking about with nutrition, we discussed it last week on the podcast where we were just talking about the basics are what work. I mean, we all know what the basics of nutrition are: to eat mostly whole foods in the right amounts, the right quantities. So it's really just as simple as that. And really until we dialed that in and we started eating mostly whole foods and mostly our own food. Is when I really started to like physically feel the difference. Like, I would like, and by feel the difference, I mean like not feeling sluggish midday was, I think was the biggest difference I saw. Like even when I, was owning the gym, I still was not like 100% dialed into my nutrition, and was still not eating 100% like mostly whole foods, and I was still relying on some like a lot of either restaurant or processed type of foods. That time period hit where I was sluggish every day in the middle of the day. And I just like don't feel like that anymore. So unless there's some weird exception going on. Somebody
might be listening to this and be like, all right, I get it. Like, I know what I'm supposed to be doing, but I don't know how to do it. That's where a nutrition coach comes in. We're not giving you any groundbreaking information here about these are the missing supplements or secret foods that you need to eat, but we'll teach you a way to eat in accordance with those principles to fit your lifestyle so you can keep doing it forever.
And you got to have a willingness to like let go of like, oh, but I just love Pop-Tarts, or you know what I mean? Like, oh, that's my favorite
I have to eat something different every day.
Like, I think that just like having an open mind and just seeing how it works out for you and how you feel after. It's kind of like someone who's just like teetering on the edge of like not drinking alcohol or something like that, but they never go and feel what it feels like, Just try it for yourself and then make the judgment call on the other side. Like, do you feel like amazing and better, or do you not? It didn't make any difference, and
Great point.
All right. And the last thing we wish we'd figured out sooner is it is normal to go through periods when you were more or less motivated to get out there and get your workout done. One of our clients yesterday, they had just come back from a break, and then she wrote like in her notes, like, it was the mindset game today. Like, I just told myself, I just got to get out there and get the warm up in. And then maybe one or two things, and it's just like, I'm like, that's the perfect way to go about it, is like, you're not always going to be like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to get out there and work out. You just got to step into your space and just start. And before you know it, it's done.
and we already know this because we don't rely on motivation to like pay our mortgage or pay for our insurance or love our spouse. Like, why is motivation the gatekeeper for our health, but nowhere else in our life? It's just ridiculous if you think about it.
Like, we weren't motivated to like go to school every day, but the bus came and we had to get on it,
And I think the reason that is because the long-term effects of not taking action for your health don't manifest in the day-to-day. If you're not motivated to go to work 3 days in a row, that's a problem. Like, you're going to be fired, or your boss is going to pull you aside and have a talk with you. If you skip 3 workouts in a row, especially if you don't have a coach that holds you accountable, you're physically not going to look any different from missing 3 workouts.
You might feel a little bit different. You might feel a little bit more sluggish, or you might feel a little bit like even like mentally defeated, like, oh my gosh, I just,
But the real consequences of neglecting your health show up later down the road. Versus, like, it's like the
James Edward saying, like, if only the 10th Pop-Tart just killed you.
It would be better if the 10th Pop-Tart just killed you. Like, if
you're like, this is number 7. I got 2 more good ones in me.
The consequences are coming. Just, you have to realize in the moment when you're not motivated, you're not putting off the consequences. They're still going to show up. So show up for yourself even when you're not motivated. And you'll get to enjoy not only the results, but the way you feel when you went out and did the thing when you weren't motivated.
I bet he doesn't even know he like said that, and we use that quote all the time.
Let's go ahead and
trademark. I think we didn't really say the thing. It was we heard him say, like, it would be better if the 10th Pop-Tart just kill you. I actually think his wife said it, and he was like repeating what she said because she's a nutrition coach. Anyway,
I like it. All right, again, just the reason we brought this up is because no matter where you're at in your fitness journey, there's so much nonsense out there in the world. There's so many mistakes that you can make. Like, that's what we feel like one of our responsibility is to our clients, is to help them make shortcuts to where they want to be without getting sidetracked with all the nonsense out there. Whether you know things about fitness or not, you're hearing things subconsciously, you're seeing things on social media. It's tempting to go down these dead end roads. We want to help you avoid that. So that's why we're hitting on this today. If you're watching this on YouTube and you don't follow us on Instagram, head over there. We share a lot of content on there, especially in our story about what we're up to on a day-to-day basis. And if you're listening to this on audio, you should go over to our YouTube channel and subscribe, because we're putting out content there that's not here in the podcast, especially if you're interested at all in what we're doing with the travels or lack thereof in our Airstream.
Lack thereof, whatever. We're sitting here by a lake view right now.
Go to our Instagram story when you watch this episode, and you can see a picture of the lake. All right, hope you guys enjoyed this episode. We'll catch you next week.